Hi, my name is Ben, and Ben Bartlett, as you all might know from this virtual class. Anyway, I am a student student of Ball State in the telecommunications department. Purpose I am trying now to bring is something informational that I have learned a lot from one of our past guest speakers that I attend to, and which was really amazing. And I thought this guy was amazing. Of course, I'm not sure how many of you would I'm not sure how many of you would be interested in sound and films, but if you are, then please do listen, or I'll try to explain. The guest speaker that I one time attend to around February 2018 was was the same guy who had done a lot of sound mixing and sound effects for Jurassic Park, Ready Player One, Terminator 2, Titanic, Saving Private Ryan. Basically, he did sound for some of Steven Spielberg's movies and many others, like The Force Awakens of the Star Wars movie. Although, how he told it was the sound designing on on how we could use any kind of sound just to tell or be part of the storytelling, like how you create sound with your imagination, how you create sound for any specific animal animal noises that didn't even exist, or what will it feel like when you're part of the sinking of a ship. Of course, that's Titanic. He also did that. And I guess the important, important of it is, I thought it was really meaning, and to me, it's important because it's one of the stars. Because I mean, he's an Oscar winner, and I admire that. And he works for Spielberg, and Steven Spielberg is just one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. Of course, some points I will be talking about is what some sounds on how he designed it, or or at least some of his some examples that he did, and what the whole point is, for that matter. One example that he did, as I mentioned, he did Jurassic Park, uh, is on how he he designed the sound for the Tyrannosaurus Rex. For the stompy part where he walks around, basically he designed it as trees falling down. So he took that sound and made the T Rex walk. Though his growling, growling or whatever you call it, was partially from a male lion who were roaring at the time, or just growling. But for the roar, as you heard from the movie, if you ever seen Jurassic Park, it's just from a baby elephant, is what they said. When you put that all together, that all makes makes a really special effect, real life T-Rex. Of course, I find it hilarious where or on how part of his design for the Velociraptor, part of it was a screeching dolphin, which I find it extremely funny because I guess every time I hear that kind of a dolphin, I'll think of a Velociraptor. And as I mentioned, he did Terminator 2, the second Terminator film, actually. It was all from that liquid character, T-1000, I think. In the part where he was really froze up and just shattered to pieces, he mentioned that part of that sound was falling nails falling from a box, dropping on the floor. I gotta say that was amazing. Although I forgot about where he got the liquid noise. But don't get me wrong, I love that. Of course, he did describe on some of the film directors he worked with, like Steven Spielberg, James Cameron, or, well, really those two guys. He described Steven Spielberg that, you know, he really trusts him. Steven just let him just do all the work. Do the work and make the best sound he can make. Which I admired because Steven's a really best director I've ever known. Of course, when he talked about James Cameron was just dictating his work, and maybe I kind of questioned that a little, but I don't want to get into it. But I forgot to mention that this sound guy, his name is Gary Rydstrom, and I thought it was a pleasure just to meet him. Thought his work was marvelous. Conclusion. The most excellent thing he ever done was tell about how, or inspired us on how to be creative, use our imaginations in storytelling, just to make any perfect film. Which I admired because as a TCOM student myself, hopefully I could become a filmmaker one day, I would follow those inspired advice that Gary has given, and it was the best time of my life. Of course, I had a couple of beginners classes, but I made it. So, the point is, if you ever have someone who just inspired you just to make you do anything that is, if you have anybody that you're inspired by and they gave you some good advice, I mean really good advice that would help you, take on that good advice, because you never know when you're going to use it. I want to thank you, and y'all have some good time, and take care of yourselves. Stay safe, for crying out loud. Alright.